All right, we'll give it a second. Alrighty, hello everybody again. We back. Yo, what's up? Glad it's working. If you'd want to do the ping stuff, that'd be great. Sorry, I forgot to do it, but sorry, internet decided it didn't want to work for a second there. Don't know why. But it did not want to work for a second there. But we're back. So we were talking about the teams for this match and the lead matchup. We did all that. We're looking at the doc and stuff last match, the team builder from Beans last time, but let's take a look. I was just about to flip the viewpoints before it switched. So since we've looked at Beans' team, we're gonna look at it from Beans' perspective, to the other Clock's perspective. Let's take a look at what we see here. So Clock's team is the one we have to analyze here. We do see Rabombi, which I believe is a great lead again with Scarf and or Sash, just to get webs on the field, especially to shut down D-Dance for Alligator. We have Terra Fire Lapras, which I also was happy to see this week show up. Darkrai in the last slot. Now, the thing I got to look about with positionings, especially when people build teams, is 9 times out of 10 their sweeper is the 6 Pokemon in their slot. If you didn't know, you know now. Well done. So Darkrai and Necrozma are going to be the two things for sweeper. We did see from Beans last time that potentially this Necrozma could be a lead option. I like that, considering noting what we know about Lando. That makes sense. But the sweep off rip is never a great sign, unless it's like you're guaranteed to get something or you know they're going to catch him. Like, it's a big risk. It's a big risk. But I think it's Rabombi, and we know it's going to be Necrozma, so let's see how it goes. And look at that. I got a lead matchup right. Woo. Everybody gets 500 bonus points. Ooh, I got a lead matchup right. All right, so this should be webs and or... Ooh. A niche stun spore coming out with trick rooms. That's going to make this even better. Is it sashed? We will never find out. We know it's not scarfed, but we know it's sashed. So this actually works really, really well. The para, I believe, is going to be the trick in the thing that stops us here. And Trick Room only lasting 3 turns is really hard to use. There's a para. We're going to switch to Darkrai, and that's going to be double para. That Trick Room became useless, and Darkrai goes off. I see what happens here. That is Life Orb 3 attack Darkrai and or Life Orb 4 attack Darkrai. Depends on if sub wants to be the case, but we don't see that. The Regirock putting in offensive pressure. Here's the webs to let Darkrai sweep, and Regirock, my boy, gets 2 KOs before Whammer Bro comes in to make him wish he never was alive. The fake out is an interesting strategy. I'm not sure if that was like a knowledge counter to stop Trick Room. I mean, there is the potential for that, but I would honestly bet it's meant to be a revenge kill tactic for something like, what is you for, like, I don't know. Maybe it's, and honestly, it's meant to break Terapagos, which I'm surprised isn't on this team. So didn't get to say that. Is it Terapagos? This is the Terapagos team, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah. Why is Terapagos not here? Questions. Why is Terapagos not here? Needs to be here. Why is Raichu here? Get Raichu out of this place. Terrifying Raichu does not take the sticky webs, which could be the way to beat Darkrai in this game. Intimidate is cute. We're going to see Fake Out, which literally does nothing but waste a turn and does less than rock damage. The Ice Shard comes out. Okay. That's enough damage to probably allow Tusk to finish it off. The Mirror Herb doesn't work. And the speed doesn't happen. So Weezing, again, Levitate, so it doesn't get caught in the trap. We know that gets noticed because of what was there. And we get a switch to Whammer Bro. That's going to do a lot to Raichu, who's just going to come in and keep clicking a Volt Switch. And this is a Dragon Dance setup for Alligator strat, but that doesn't work. And if you would click Dragon Dance there, that might be a different game right now. Darkrai picks up a, is it a third kill? A second kill? A second kill? And we're going to see some pivoting. So Clock is playing this Darkrai very well. Of course, you have to play Darkrai pretty defensively when you're doing this. He does have the Heavy Slam tech to try to deal with the Wheezing. But the problem is that the 2 Steel type moves being around is going to make this thing not useful. And that is your best way to deal with Darkrai. So you have to, at this point, be clicking Dragon Dance. And honestly, you have to be clicking it twice if you want to get anywhere. And Gig Hammer is gonna not be enough. Now, do you have enough to deal with it? Yes. However, but they have saved the Tinkaton to fake you out and win the game. I mean, I would not be surprised if we see a switch here. It doesn't matter. The switch is back into Feraligatr, and that is a G. Freaking G. The Assault Vest knockoff doesn't really matter. Hold on a minute. Regirock could come back here. I mean, no, it can't. Never mind. You have close combat? That might have just... Okay. Very defensive. Max defense. Max defense or max HP. Great Tusk there. So it was like, that might just throw you the game. Close game. Much closer than it probably needed to be, considering that Necrozma strat did not work at all. And then it became, how do we get Feraligatr set up? And Feraligatr just couldn't do enough to win the game. So, well done the Clock. Picking up a 1-0 victory over Beans. Which means that Beans falls to the dreaded 2-1. Yeah, the double para, the flinch was massive. And Clock coming out of the winless season, but still with a mile to get out of the basement here. -10 diff with a win is terrible. But we'll see how that works out later on. Now we have Banzai versus Heaven's Angel. I'm assuming that's Michael. So Banzai versus Michael. The Boston Celebies versus the Alto Mayor Guardians, both fighting for a coveted positive record in this season. Banzai is all the way over. It's not... No, Banzai's down. They're right next to each other on the board. I know you can't see the bottom of their teams, but I'll tell you what they are. So Michael also has Bisharp and Whimsicott that are not shown up. Again, Michael's team is not correct because these trades do not take effect until the week after. So Michael's team actually is Galarian Slowking, Annihilate, Clefable, Terra Fortress, and Trevenant instead of the very obvious Sand Core. So we'll see how that pairs up against the Roaring Moon team with Corviknight, Hatterene, Iron Bundle, the goated Pterodactyl stack that should have way more kills than it does. But that's just me. And we'll see what happens. So Greninja, great option this battle. Great option this battle. The Protean set, honestly, even Battle Bond I could see being good, especially a special attacking Battle Bond with Ice Beam to deal with Roaring Moon. Corviknight's going to stuff you, so Corviknight has to come. It's hard to tell what Michael's team is because, again, it's changed so much. 5 Mons is literally like half his team. So, I guess the question is, do you want to bring Zapdos? Potentially? Honestly, probably not. I don't think this is a great matchup for Zapdos, especially because rocks are going to be on the field and boots would be required. Latios, I know Scarf Gengar is definitely a good option. But again, Scarf Laddie could be the answer to Roaring Moon. So potentially, Mach. I ain't seeing that coming, bro. I ain't seeing that coming. Arcanine is not on the team yet. Bisharp is. Terra Bisharp has been trying to be used, like, I think every week, and it's not been well used. It could be a good answer to Knuckle Stack, which I think is honestly a good reason to bring it. But it also stuffs Roaring Moon, barring Earthquake. So maybe you want, I don't know. Maybe you want Terra Fairy Bisharp this week to try to do some work. And if I'm Knuckle Stack, I'm definitely coming, and I'm definitely bringing Terra Water to try to stifle the Greninja. But honestly, I don't think you need much outside of Knuckle Stack to do a lot this week. You definitely bring Roaring Moon. I would expect a booster energy set. Maybe if you're wanting to be cheeky, you run Loaded Dice and a Scale Shot as a lead option. I think also Mach Punch, Flame Orb, Guts, Conkeldurr could be a great option to deal with outspeeding Greninja as a revenge kill option. I like that a lot this week. I like Bundle for the Zapdos matchup. And beyond that, it's hard to tell because the team is so different, but we can go back to the transactions and see what could have been there. I mean, you're gonna something to deal with Clef, something to deal with Fortress and Annihilate and Glow King. Geez, that's a tall order. Yeah, Earthquake. I would honestly choice band Earthquake Roaring Moon would be pretty good. Hippowdon looks great in this matchup. So from Banzai, I'm expecting Corviknight. I'm expecting Iron Bundle. I expect Terra. Knuckle Stack, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Terra. Terra Water feels good. Terra Ice feels great. It's a weird Terra, but it feels good. Terra Water probably. Actually, Terra Fairy feels much better. Terra Fairy, Knuckle Stack. I would take Hippowdon, Conkeldurr. And you take your pick of whatever you want utility-wise in the back. That's up to you. For Michael, I'm bringing Greninja with probably Battle Bond this week. Again, I think that boost is great. You just have to get there. And with Water Shuriken, Ice Beam, Scald, or whatever water move you want to use otherwise, and a Dark Coverage move. Again, Michael, run Dark Coverage because that is very, very important for a Dark-type Pokemon. But I would say that. Probably we're gonna see Terra Bisharp. I would say Terra Fairy is the right call. Terra Flying could be a lot of fun, but I think it's Fairy just because you don't want to have to deal with the Stealth Rock's weaknesses on the team. I would love to. Terra Whim actually looks pretty great in this fight, but it's not Terra. And beyond that, I don't know, but we don't have any information, so we'll take a look at what they decided to bring. So we get Clefable. This is a very defensive team for Michael, which I'm not sure I like. We get Clefable, Glow King, Greninja, Bisharp, Zapdos, and Fortress with Terra Water Bisharp. I'm not hating that. I'm not liking that, specifically because of Freeze Dry. Bundle, which you're now weak to, and you have Terra Ghosts, Fortress, which is actually pretty cool for Rapid Spin, although they're not showing Rapid Spin, so yeah, funny, ha 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 ha, good job. Banzai's got Terra Fairy Gengar, Terra Steel Hatterene. Are both of those legal Terras? Am I crazy? They are legal Terras. No Knuckle Stack. I'm upset with you, Banzai. I'm upset. You're gonna lose. Michael wins because Knuckle Stack didn't come. Knuckle Stack had a great matchup, especially as a good defensive Terra option into Greninja. But with what's here, honestly, Volcarona looks phenomenal to me. Bundle looks phenomenal to me. Gengar looks phenomenal to me. Maybe he made the right calls. I don't know. Lead matchups. I'm probably lead Clefable. Nah, I'm probably lead Glow King. Try to chilly reception, tell some bad jokes, and go from there. And on the other side, your guess is as good as mine. Probably Rotom. I don't know, we'll see. Rotom and Glow King. Wow, I got it right. That's crazy. Another 500 points to anyone who's here for me getting another lead matchup correct. This is Choice Scarf Rotom into a Slowking, which cripples it with heavy duty boots, and now it's stuck into Future Sight, which forces it to switch out to Clefable. She gets a free Volt Switch, which a non-specially defensive Clefable here. This is definitely a defensive Clefable trying to deal with the Roaring Moon that gets paralyzed, but however is taking way too much damage. Okay, it's got Moonlight. I'm interested in what the set. So what do we know about Clefable here? Mystical Fire. You're just sacking Bisharp. Moonlight knockoff. Ooh, is it just it's probably just Moonblast, I'll be fair. I'm really glad that Michael got rid of the Bisharp because he has been using it so terribly this whole season. It's a great Pokemon. It's just it's getting switched in to die, or it's getting something to die. It's not getting really anywhere. So that's pretty crap. But I'm glad it's gone. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So that'll be great. I believe. Hold on. Let me double check that. No, it's still on the team. It's still on the team. Michael, get rid of the Michael doesn't have more traits. Michael, stop bringing Terra Bisharp. It's not working. Do something else. Oh geez. All right, the Mystical Fire gets up the boost, which is freaking hilarious. Oh no, it was Calm Mind. The Calm Mind was great. Calm Mind drops the special attacks, but procs Defiant, which now makes Bisharp great, but then Ironhead stops it great. There's the Terra Steel doing great work. Bisharp actually almost did something for once. That's crazy. This is probably a bad joke. This is a bad joke, which means I have to tell a bad joke. So, what do you call a man who's outstanding in this field? That's the wrong way to set that up. That was a really bad joke. Let me imagine you didn't hear that, and this is now the bad joke. So, what do you call a? I don't even know what the joke is anymore. It's that bad. Moving on. We get a bad joke that apparently I don't. That's so bad I can't even tell it. To bring in Clefable into this great matchup versus the Hatterene. However, if Terra Blast is here, that is a dead Clefable, and that is why we're getting a switch right back out into Slowking. Mystical Fire shuts it down, showing no Terra Blast or either a really good protection here. Clefable is the only way to stop this Hatterene at this point. But we're gonna send in Zapdos to just let another one happen and potentially just get some chip with U-turn. It's not a Psychic type anymore. You gotta bring in Clefable here. And Clefable's gonna be able to eat this. That is Unaware Clefable 120%. But Clefable is doing nothing, especially getting that drop, which doesn't actually affect its stats. But Moonblast is not very effective into this Hatterene. But you are forced to sit here and play this game for like 10 turns of Moonlight, Moonblast, and Mystical Fire drops. Like, this is going to be the game until turn 20. So don't just everybody go, you know, I'll stop the video if we get something cool happening. But until then, I probably should be using this time to come up with a better bad joke, because that would be smart. I don't have one. I don't have one. What is it? Oh, I got one now. I got one. I got one. What is a lubricant's favorite nickname? Little chap. There you go. All right, we're back into it. Bad jokes aside, people leaving the video aside, we are back in. Knockoff comes off, doesn't matter. It is. We did see the full Clefable set. It is Moonlight, Moonblast, knockoff. No, we did not. I lied. It's probably. I have no idea. I have no idea what you bring. What the other move on Clefable is? Stealth Rock. Why are you not putting it up? I don't know. But we're gonna be here. It's turn 22. I lied. It's probably gonna be turn 30 by the time we get out of this fight. We're gonna run out of Moonlights eventually. There is no lefties. There is lefties on Clef. Clef is taking way too much. We predicted a switch there for Nuzzle. The Paras have not come into play here, and there is the switch to Glow King, which is too little too late, because you're just gonna have to go right back into Clefable here. And I wonder if Banzai's sitting here going, why the heck is Mystical Fire not doing anything? It is Stealth Rocks and it is Magic Bounce, which is why you don't click Stealth Rocks there. I said it just to set that up, and it works so well. Michael, it didn't work. He has Magic Bounce. We did get 1,000 points. Congratulations everybody on 1,000 points today for me getting 2 lead up matchups right. This battle is boring. I could take a nap. I could walk away, go get like a Monster Energy drink, come back, chug the dang thing, and we'd still be sitting here watching Cresselia. The nickname threw me off. We could still be watching Hatterene and Clefable sit here and try to stall each other out of moves. All right, let's get some interesting stuff. So yeah, this happens for another like 20 turns. Eventually something happens. Hold on. Eventually we get tired of the game. Banzai gets tired of his own game with a +6 Chris. Dang it. I almost did it again. A +6 Hatterene gets sick of the game, switches into Volcarona on a really bad turn, and then we're gonna see Sub come out with even more stall, but it's there to set up Quiver Dance to outspeed Greninja. The Hurricane Mist kind of seals Michael's fate, and a burn. There is every single hacks in this game going against Michael with burns and paras and misses. Like, this game is literally Banzai's to lose, and the 6-0 is very probable. Sludge Bomb does not break the Sub, especially with the boost, and then it's a chew shot here. There is the boost, the Sub gone. It does not matter, but he gets it up again anyways. Okay, I'm just kidding. It does matter on Clefable. Clefable comes back in, and you're forcing Greninja out, who cannot do anything because it's slower now, and this game is over. Michael gives up. GG's in chat there. The problem with this team, holy crap, 6-0 again against Michael, which is crazy. The problem was the stall fest and not being able to deal with the Hatterene in the stall fest. We didn't even get to see the bundle touch the field. We didn't even get to see the moon touch the field. Like, the sweepers, they didn't even come out. We just let, you know, I mean, to be fair, it looks like Banzai's team, probably anything could have swept, you know, in the right situation. Like, we had set up Hatterene, we had set up Volcarona, we probably had D-Dance, Roaring Moon in the back. Like, that's a crazy team. Good battle for you, I guess, Banzai, and good job picking up a much needed win to put you at 2-1 at 10 differential with a loss. That is a crazy differential stat to be at. 10 differential with a loss. That's crazy. And then Michael dropping to 1-2, taking a 6-0 loss, putting at -11, which is not where you want to be, because that puts you out of even close to getting the race. And Joe's only redemption of not being the bottom spot in this is our final match of the week, which is Gordon and the untitled Archon team, because they've not won a championship, versus Scal and our Orange County Oshawotts. We do have both of their team builders, so we can talk about that, but we can also look at their teams to get a little bit of prep into what we want to do. So I believe Scal is right here. Yep. Scal's got our Fluttermane Raging Bolt team. I'm not even looking at Gliscor because, yeah, it doesn't need any introduction. I believe there's a transaction this week for this team. There was this was the week that the spinners left for Quackball, Artaria, and Thwacky. So the team is correct on the boards here, and it looks great. And then we are looking at the Untitled Archon team, which is the last draft pick, with the Garchomp, Spectrier, Sneasel. Well, it's the Spectrier #1 overall on the team, by the way. That's what he took first, and then he took Garchomp for some reason, but it's fine. So what are you doing? What are you doing here if you're these teams? I don't know, but I'm probably bringing my top 6 and not worrying about anything else if I'm Gordon, because I don't like the bottom of that team. And this one, I'm bringing. I'm bringing Fluttermane kind of in the middle of every set it wants to run. So mildly, probably, now I'm just bringing Fluttermane offensive this week to deal with Garchomp. It is a hard Garchomp counter. In my opinion, it deals with Spectrier. Max speed, max special, timid nature. Believe that's the one that drops attack, not a special attack, but that's what I would run 100% each week. Shadow Ball, pick your fairy move, Dazzling Gleam if you want. Maybe a psychic coverage move for Sneasler. I'm sure it gets access to that. I believe that line gets psychic. And then maybe like Mystical Fire to deal with Rillaboom. Fluttermane could pop off this week. I'm probably booster energizing or life orb depending on what my utility is. Seeing that we don't have slow hazards, it's probably utility into speed for me in that regard. Otherwise on the team, I'm probably doing Heatran as a way to deal with Rillaboom, as a mild check to Azumarill. I'm definitely, if I'm Scout, running Mirror Herb to counter Belly Drum on Azumarill, probably with Raging Bolt, to be fair. I feel like that's a great set, so I'm bringing that. I might be bringing Thwackey just to do, I probably wouldn't, but I could see Thwackey coming with Grassy Glide to deal with Azumarill if it tries to set up and get out of hand. Otherwise, I think Weavile feels good in this fight as a way to deal with Garchomp and Spectrier as well. And then you really need to put your points into dealing with Sneasler, which feels like an odd job for Gliscor this week. So I feel like that's the team: Flutter Mane, Raging Bolt, Gliscor's Weavile, Heatran, and then potentially Thwackey if you want it. But I think out of what's left, you might be fearing rocks, and so you might go Quackleval. So I would expect to see Quackleval. I could see Thwackey. I don't think you bring your Terra Captains this week, and Toxapec's just too passive for my liking in this matchup this week. On Gordon's side of the field, well, I'm probably bringing a defensive Garchomp, expecting that I can't beat the Flutter Mane. However, but I might bring a Focus Sash or a Roselli Berry Garchomp to try to deal with that and catch the Flutter Mane out. With the necessary pivots to get in Flutter Mane here, I would definitely be bringing Belly Drum Azumarill with Aqua Jet. Probably Terra what? Terra Electric, potentially? I don't hate Terra Electric. Terra Ice, Terra Electric, one of the two. I like the Sneasler Rillaboom set as a way to deal with Flutter Mane in the back. Especially if it's a defensive, if it's not a defensive Flutter Mane, Rillaboom's Grassy Glide just does a lot, and it's a good option for that. So I like the top 5 this week, and then again, take your pick. As I said with Gordon's team, you kind of take the top 5 and then take your pick of whatever else you want to do. I don't think that Chi-Yu is on this team at this point. We saw it go off, but did it come back on? I don't see it. Oh, what would Chien got rated, not Chi-Yu. That's my bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like Chi-Yu because of the Heatran. I don't like any of the bottom half of this team at all. I mean, maybe if you're feeling it. This is the Terra Weirder week. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. Top 5 Terra Weirder. That's my call. Let's see what we got. First, Gordon. This is Scal's team this week. This is Scal this week. Oh, I lost it because I tabbed out. We're seeing Photosynthesis Leftovers, so a defensive Raging Bolt this week with the standard set and its own manual Sun. Interesting. We are seeing the Life Orb Flutter Mane with a Life Orb, and you're not maxing out speed. I don't like that, but Calm Mind, a Calm Mind could go crazy. I like Booster Energy Calm Mind, honestly, over Life Orb in this set. Psyshock there to deal with the Sneasler. Unfortunately, Unburdened Sneasler is going to be your problem with Flutter Mane. And I'm not sure who's faster naturally. I believe it is Sneasler, but a Proto Boost could be crazy if you play your cards right. I feel it is better maybe to run... I don't know. I feel like Flutter Mane gets Mystical Fire. If it doesn't... don't know why I'm thinking of that, but I feel like it should, and I would have run 4 attacks Life Orb and swap Calm Mind for Mystical Fire. Potentially, we have a Scarfed Heatran. That's a mood. Flamethrower, Earth Power, Overheat, and Solar Beam. The Solar Beam coverage. Okay. Maybe an answer for Garchomp to catch Garchomp's pants down. I don't hate that. Rocky Helmet, Defensive Altaria. I'm not a big fan of this. Steel is not a great typing, in my opinion, for this team. For Terra usage. Well, I mean, not the usage, but like against this team, I don't like Steel because of Rillaboom, Spectre, Sneasler. It's good for Azumarill. That's probably about it. Don't like it at all, really. But I get the point. Rocky Helmet's cute, but I don't like the set at all. I don't like the Altaria at all. We do see the the Thwacky Grassy Surge, Grassy Glide Leech Seed U-turn, knockoff meant to be in, do some chippies and get out. And then the Assault Vest Quackleval with the standard set, although Wave Crash instead of... I'm not sure how I feel about Wave Crash instead of... What's its move? Its signature move? Aqua Step. I don't like the no fighting coverage this week. I might have seen that the hazards were probably not likely and not run Rapid Spin, but threaten it this week. But that might just be me. All right, and then the Untitled Pokepaste, which we get to see a Rillaboom v Thwacky matchup. We have the Terra Ground, Huge Power, Belly Drum, Azumarill that has won so many weeks. Yeah. Aqua Jet instead of any other water stab. I don't hate that. Grassy Surge, Rillaboom with a standard set. Nothing too crazy there. More speedy than defensive. We have a pretty spread out Unburdened Sneasler that's probably meant to outspeed, boost your energy. Fluttermane would be my guess. And yeah, that looks great to me. It doesn't have a move for that though, which is mildly concerning, but sure. The Chi-Yu Choice Specs, I like the set. I hate the Memento, but I like the set. The Weirdeer, the terrifying Weirdeer gets to show up this week, which I think I said bring your top 5 in Weirdeer, and I'm surprised it's Chi-Yu. I just feel like you would have brought Spectre, not Spectre, you would have brought Garchomp. But yeah, again, as I was saying, just in Michael and Scowl's look, I don't think you needed to bring anything to deal with hazards, because I don't think this game is won by hazards on their side. So yeah, definitely seeing that point here with the team builder. The Intimidate Weirdeer is pretty good, and having screens is kind of crazy to me too. Interesting to see what Terra Fighting does, but it's definitely not taking effect of that. It's meant to be potentially, I don't know, a dark counter. I don't know. And then the Spectre on the bottom that you can't see is Colberberry to deal with the dark moves that will be coming out. With Shadow Ball, Draining Kiss, sub nasty, so it's dual setup, which is going to cause problems. If you can get that setup, it'll be good, and then Grim Neigh will take over from there. But getting set up is going to be the #1 thing that is going to happen this week for this. As we go lead matchups, I would not be surprised to see Terra Weirdeer lead to get screens up to maybe allow Spectre to start the setup. I think that is the combination that we're going to see. I would not be surprised if Chi-Yu wants to try to come out. The rest, I don't feel like do it. Maybe Sneasler if you want a U-turn pivot. For Scowl, maybe you bring out Heatran, Facade the Rocks. I feel like Raging Bolt is the answer. So I'm going to go Raging Bolt Sneasler. See if I get another right call. I get none of it right, so everyone loses every point they ever got. And we go back to the beginning. I'm going to pull that back a turn just to see what happens this first turn. We do see the Rillaboom come out with Grassy Surge, meaning to get this Sneasler set up early, and Fluttermane not wanting to take it because Fluttermane doesn't have a fire move. Shows that early, and Rillaboom should be taking this seriously gets knockoff to deal with the Altaria that already did not have a good matchup in this fight. And now we are getting a free anti-burn with the Nemo switch. Great bring for Chi-Yu this week. This is where Aqua Step would be really great, because we're gonna have to see Wave Crash here, and we're gonna take a lot of damage. Knockoff gets rid of Assault Vest, so we're just trading item drops here. The terrain is actually really helping us a lot. And now U-turn pivot into something that Glastrier easily can destroy if it does it correctly. However, gets the chance to set up Sub Nasty, and now Heatran is trying to find a way through this. Unfortunately, I think it lives. It does live, and EP is going to do a lot of damage here. That sub wastes a turn and wastes stat. It wastes your HP stat, so it was a lot better just to click Nasty there. Thwacky comes in with the boost, trying to do Thwacky trying to do the work out here to get rid of the Spectre. Unfortunately, sets up terrain to let this Sneasler go off, and we are having an answer for it mildly in the Raging Bolt. It's not really a good option for Sneasler now I'm looking at this team. That'll do it though. You know, Brave Bird just setting up in the face of Altaria was proved to be a bad strategy. And Thwacky maybe tanking this, not well, but tanking it. And now we finally get to see the Grassy Glide come out. Yes, we do, which does a good bit of damage actually to the Rillaboom. But it's Monkey v Monkey. Everybody's Monkey. And we are seeing this Raging Bolt just have to soak up hits and be used for something. This is screen attempts to potentially get Belly Drum Azumarill to sweep, I think, at this point. And Knockoff's going to come out. U-Turn's going to come out to do some damage. I would have knocked off. That might have been better to deal with Reflect. Obviously showing both screens there. And this is where you Aqua Step. How many times are I going to call Aqua Step in this? Aqua Step Quaquaval just wins, I feel like, at this point. Like, Azumarill is really your answer here. And here's Belly Drum Azumarill in the terrain. You try to get Altaria in to do something, but this is too little too late. You let it get in for free. You didn't punish it by clicking Knockoff. But you do get the Haze, and that'll make the difference here, potentially, from stopping the sweep. Great read by Scal in this. There is Sunny Day to set Proto up. But Terra Blast is going to do it. Terra Ground is the answer to that solution. And now is this, we know it is huge power, so we can feel free to set up Leech Seed. We can feel free to do Grassy Glide in this thing. We can feel free to switch out, predicting something else switching in. But we're going to go for the KO. The switch might have saved Scal's battle here. But it's not enough damage to stop this Weird Ear. And now Quaquaval comes in again, not being able to really do anything besides pivot right back out. And with the sun up, we do not go into Flutter Mane. Wow. We instead go to Chi-Yu, which is now the biggest pain in the butt for Scal's team, because that burn seals it to me. We do nothing here. We do not have a good water move that is going to do anything. We are just going to keep pivoting, trying to maybe show like a choice spec set. I don't know. Grassy Glide's going to freely clean up this this Flutter Mane here, because Aqua Jet will finish it. Although we see a switch trying to bait it out, maybe realizing that screens and a defensive fish is enough to handle this thing. Maybe trying to save Aqua Jet for priority versus Thwacky. Maybe trying to run terrain out so Thwacky has to come in. I don't know. But here's the Azu. Wave Crash is going to do a lot. And does a lot of recoil too. That without burn would KO. The Aqua Jet is not enough, and the speed. I hate that play. I hate that play so much. I hate the rapid spin play there. Like, you have... Your problem is you need this to beat. You bring in Thwacky every time there. Tank the hits, set up the terrain, not caring that it gives the boost. And you could Grassy Glide to finish this off. Grassy Glide into Chi-Yu to bring it down into range for Quaquaval to win. And now instead you have thrown the battle by requiring Grassy Glide KO. Sure, you get some recovery here, but what is Thwacky doing against Chi-Yu? Absolutely nothing. And that is going to be the battle. It is close. I mean, the one change there, the change to switch Thwacky out and save the Quackball could have made the difference. Also, not having a fighting move is really bad. Like Aqua Step in close combat would have been so much better than Wave Crash and Rapid Spin in this fight. And I think that the build on Quackball was the main deal breaker for this team. It was a good fight. It was a close fight. I still give my my battle of the week to our second matchup, which I feel like was a much closer and much higher stakes battle for us this week. And I'm trying to remember whose battle that was. Don't mind me while I go back and look through the stuff to see who had what. I do appreciate the person putting the numbers on the things to help me out. So that is Phantom versus I always forget King Kryptonite's name. Phantom and King Kryptonite. That battle was crazy. I like that battle a lot, and a good battle to maybe show the vulnerabilities of King Kryptonite. I don't know. So it's a 1-0 win from Gordon here. And I'll be honest, that might have just sealed Scal's season. Scal now drops to 0-3 at -13, putting Scal at the bottom of the list again. Only one of our completely defeated teams pulled out and won a battle this time, and only one of our undefeated teams dropped from their reaches into a different tier. Great matchup. So I don't have the standings right now off the top of my head, but I can do what we can. No change in the top two leaders of the team. Banzai takes a massive leap with a sweep this week to take third, followed by Beans and the Bewares taking their first loss this week. Wayscar pulling off a good win to get themselves into a good position for I believe that is 5th place. I believe that is 5th place at this point. That is a tie for 5th place with Beans and Gordon there. And then Wayscar holding down 6th, no changes. The bottom looks to stay the same, although Clockwork jumps out of the undefeated tier to usurp Michael for that 9 spot, and everyone else shifts down. Not much changes on the lower half, but the top half saw some big shifts here. Again, the question is who can stop King Kryptonite and the Phoenix Suncurves from going on a rampage? And now the new question shows up. Who's going to beat Thread? I don't know if next week is the case. Let's see who they're facing next week. The Suncurrents take on the Pristine Primarinas, which is Dom, and Dom's been not doing so hot this week. These last couple weeks, so I don't know if that's another win, but we'll see. I feel like that's a good matchup for King Kryptonite. Maybe not a bad matchup for Dom. We'll have to see, depending on the team builds. Some weird builds this week, very weird builds this week. But with these guys, I don't expect anything less at this point. Weird builds are always going to be a thing, and I'm going to call something wrong, but I'm just giving you what I think should come, or what I thought might be the good option, but who knows. And then we have the Chipotle Choodle and the Carolina Croconaws. That is going to be the matchup. Just kidding. That could be a matchup to see this week. Will Joe finally break his defeated streak and bad hack streak? Can Thread keep alive the undefeated record to pull a 4-0 into week 4? You'll have to find out in a couple weeks, because there's going to be a while before I can continue on doing this. As I said, we are going to be taking a 2-week hiatus. We will be back on the 26th, I believe. Is that correct? Let me check. I'm getting a bunch of texts. Sorry. Let me check my records. It is the 29th. Sorry, the 29th. Wednesday the 29th will be week 4, week 5, and week 6 of the GPA. I will try to have some stats and stuff in there for you. I will go ahead and make the standings for each week, and then what we can do here is I can do this, and then I can scroll down and be like, oh, here's week 4, oh, here's week 5. So we can have them spread out enough that I can still go through them and look through them, and we can still have the standings and everything up to date, but we'll go through it like we've been doing, and we'll move on from there. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Let me know if you like the changes to the standings and stuff for this week. If you like this new document that we have to see the matchups and stuff, I would appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing you all in in 2 weeks, where we will have a big day with 3 sets of brackets. I will be honest with you. We will probably start at least an hour early, maybe a couple hours early, just to get everything in. I'm going to come with like 7 bottles of water so my throat doesn't get dry, and some lozenges, and we will have a great time looking at the next 3 weeks of this league, where playoff contentions will be kind of set, and we will definitely go over that. One of my favorite things is to look at the playoff contentions. At this point, King Kryptonite and Thread are in to me. They are the teams to beat this league. The 2-1s, they are okay right now. They want to continue winning, and the bottom tiers have to win. If you are below the 6th spot, you have to win week 4, lest you fall into the obscurity of no one ever knowing who you are, and then maybe you will also pick Untitled as part of your team's name. But who knows? That is all I got for you today. Thank you for watching the GPA Season 1 Week 3 watch party. If you guys have any questions about the league, please let me know in the comments below. If you are watching the videos, there are 2 because the internet went out in the middle of it. If you're watching the videos after the fact, I really appreciate you all. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me that you would take the time out of your day to go watch it. Again, if you want to see any specific matchup, you want me to talk about anything, let me know in the comments. I do read those. I will read those. They do pop up on my feed, and I will take care of it. But again, thank you again to the coaches, the moderators, the organizers of this league for giving me the opportunity to be doing this. It's been a lot of fun. I've had a great time with it, and I hope to continue doing it as we go forward, and it's given me some inspiration into what I'm doing content wise down the road. So thanks for all that. We will clean up the standings for you for the next couple weeks, and we will go from there. But that is it for me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, my name is Chaos, coach of the Detroit Red Wing Eagles, who are not playing this season. Good luck to the rest of the teams in week 4, 5, 6, and we will catch you in the next stream in 2 weeks. So thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you next time. So stay safe out there, and as always, burn it up.